Hi, I'm Ted Garnett and I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the 8-Minute A-Game. In each edition we'll deal with concepts, thought leadership, process, and most importantly, practical tools that you can use. I promise you straight talk, truth in management, and direct challenges at a level that's rare from consultants these days. Why? Because I'm interested in your success. It's that simple. Even if it's painful, I promise we'll help you to make it profitable for your organization. Now, because time is the new money in this economy, I'm going to keep it to 8 minutes or less each edition. So what do you say? Let's get on with it. No more B game, no more C game, no more half-hired outcomes. It's time for tough talks, teamwork, and total results. Bring your A game or go home. Well, I felt pretty good about that shot. I've been thinking about my golf game a lot lately, and I think I'll give myself a hole-in-one. Been really working on my game, so let's give myself a hole-in-one there. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that if we were playing for money? Like if this were a business and I just decided to give myself a hole-in-one? You know, we keep score. We keep score with a lot of metrics in sports, but we do it based on, hopefully, reality, truth, accuracy. We want to know what the real score is. And that's important to determine if we're winning or not. In business, I ask organizations all the time, what do you keep track of? Because that's what's important. What do you keep score of? Well, they tell me, financial statements. Money is important. Well, that's right. You keep track of anything that's important. So you get financial statements how often? I ask groups this all the time. They say, oh, we get them monthly, Ted, for sure. Maybe sometimes weekly. One group will say, we get them daily. My CEO looks at them hourly, Ted. Hourly! They're looking at the scorecard. That's because money's important. So you track it on an ongoing basis. You want to know where it's been, where it's going, how it's doing, up, down, otherwise, so you can improve it. So answer this question for me. People are our greatest asset, right? People are our greatest asset. More important than money or fiscal inventory or anything else in the organization. People are the company. So if that's true, where are your people statements at? How often do you get them? I think you need to look at getting regular metrics, and the one you need to look at the most, the A in the A game this time, is accountability. I find that people don't track their people metrics really at all. They'll tell me that they do a once-a-year employee attitude survey. And, they ask, how's the Blue Cross Blue Shield health plan treating you? And what color do you want the company t-shirt to be this year, blue or green? And sometimes even some meaningful things like time management or job satisfaction. Those are great, good metrics, all important. Need to have those answers. But we only get them about once a year, maybe, at best. Imagine if you only got your financial statements once a year. Well, that's crazy, Ted. We could not run the business and make decisions if we only got our financial statements once a year. For the next 12 months, we need to have better visibility. Are things trending up, trending down? It'd be like just teeing off and writing down a 1 for your score. It wouldn't be realistic. We wouldn't be able to make decisions. It would not be reality. Just for that day, we'd have no trend. We would not be able to see the accuracy or the visibility of what's really going on in the organization. Okay. Well, we developed a system called Generally Accepted People Metrics. It measures 33 metrics in an organization on an ongoing basis, so we can see trend over time. Several times a year, we can compare how we're doing this year to last year, allocate our resources to improving. I can tell you across industries, I can tell you across companies, the number one metric that needs to be worked on is accountability. The lack of accountability is pervasive. Doesn't matter if you're a hospital or a bank. It doesn't matter if you're a wholesale distributor or manufacturer. This is one thing without buying capital equipment or giving everyone raises. We can start to work on this. Ask this question in your organization. Start tracking this metric. How does accountability work around here? You'll probably get two different types of answers. One answer is for tangible things like coming to work late. When it's real cut and dried, we have due process, Ted. We have a policy. People get some progressive disciplinary steps. And I'll always say, well, what about the more important things like attitude? What if you have a break room opinion leader? How are they being held accountable? What if somebody comes to work late, then they get due process? What if somebody comes to work with a bad attitude because they're having issues at home or they don't like the new equipment that management bought? How many days do we allow bad attitude to prevail? How about if you're not building the team? How about if you're complaint and problem oriented and you're not solution oriented? How many days do we wow, accountability is not so good there is usually what I hear. I'll say, how does accountability work around here? What accountability? That's a terrible answer. And I get it all the time. So I want you to go out with your homework this time and ask your people, how does accountability happen around here? Maybe get an independent third party to ask that question for you. The risk might be too high to tell you, so they might tell an independent, just like you get an audit on your financial statements. We don't internally audit everything. We get an outside objective third party to audit it so we can get the truth on the table. Sometimes we have an issue with accountability for accountability. Some of our supervisors and managers, maybe you, don't do it well. Haven't been trained in it. Haven't really managed the accountability process well. Haven't set expectations up and therefore feel a little bit shy or hesitant in implementing accountability. These are all issues that you can uncover if you start the question and start tracking the metric. Are we better at accountability this month than we were last month? It's the Motherlode Metric. Start working on it. Ask your people, are we getting better at accountability? Do we hold people accountable for positive performance with positive consequences and for negative performance with appropriate negative consequences? See if that's getting better compared to this time last year. See if it's getting better 3 months from now compared to now. That would be a tremendous improvement. No equipment needed to buy, no capital expenditures, don't need to raise salaries for everybody, no money required. It's part of the job you already signed up to do. The A this time in the A game is for accountability. So like I always say, bring your A game or go home. Next month we'll talk about 3 key questions that you should ask yourself and every manager around you to get to truth in management, truth on the table. Tune in next time. Thanks.